We have AEW All Out recap with our winners, grades, and highlights. First up, we had the buy-in match with two buy-in matches. One, Serpentico versus Joey Janela. Winner, Joey Janela. We gave that a 2.5. That was an okay match. Next up, tag team match, Private Party versus the Dark Order, 3 and 4, Alex Reynolds and John Silvers. This actually was a really good match, and I was really impressed by Dark Order. But the winner, Private Party, I gave this a 3.25 stars. So far the buy-in was really good. I mean, this was a really good match. This was my elite match of the night, of course, until we got into the main show. Main show, Dr. Britt Baker against Big Swole. Winner, Big Swole, graded that a 2.75. That was pretty good, interesting match, fun kind of thing. It is what it is. It wasn't, the Stadium Stampede level, but it was still a fun match just to kind of kick things off. Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus Jungle Boy. This was my elite match of the night. I gave this a 3.75. The winner is the Young Bucks. This was the best match of the night. The Young Bucks, to me, have been killing it for the last couple months, as just their matches, the way they're booked, they're so interesting, fun to watch. They've been killing it all for the last couple months. 21-man, really since they've been back since the virus stuff. The 21-man Casino Battle Royale. So we have Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston, The Blade, The Butcher, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., who changed his name, Trent, Will Hobbs. He was a dark guy that was in there. Santana Ortiz, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Billy Gunn, Jake Hager, Chuck Taylor, Sean Spears, Sonny Kiss, Matt Sydal debuted. And we have, if you haven't seen his debut, which was great, but his botch was a little embarrassing. But we were glad he's okay. Winner was Lance Archer. We gave this a 3.0. This is good, and this kind of laid it out for me that I figured Jon Moxley was going to win. So a Lance Archer Jon Moxley match seems to be pretty good because, the last time he went up against a monster and like Jake Hager, that was boring. And I'm not a big fan of Jake Hager. But this was a fun match. Gave it a 3. Broken Rules match, yeah. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. They actually took the video down of when Matt Hardy fell. They went through the scaffolding, hit a table. Matt Hardy hit his head. It looked like he was knocked out. They kept the match going. They called the match. They did the X. Aubrey Edwards did the X. Then the trainer came out, checked him out. The match was over, and then all of a sudden they restarted it. Matt Hardy still looked dazed the whole time. I don't know why he passed any kind of concussion protocol. That is just a joke. There's just no, I just don't understand. They finished the match. It was sloppy. It was just a mess and really kind of took the fire out of the crowd. I gave this a 2 because it was just the match should have been called. I don't care what anybody says. People who watched it at home, that match should have been called. No question about it. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. This was a good match. I gave this one a 3.0. I wish Thunder Rosa was part of the roster because definitely she's legit. Hikaru Shida is legit. This was a great match. Some people were saying one of the best women's matches that AEW has had. I would definitely say it's the best women's match they've had in a long time. I don't know necessarily it was the best. Remember Riho, everybody? But I gave this a 3. The tag team match, the Dark Order, Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson versus the Natural Nightmares, Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky. This was a good match as well. The Natural Nightmares, Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky win. They turned on Colt Cabana. He kind of messed up. He could have gotten the win. Good storytelling, so we'll see what happens with Colt and the Dark Order. Does Colt get kicked out of the Dark Order? He hasn't been there for very long. AEW World Tag Team Champions, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus FTR. Your new champions, FTR. I gave this a 2.75. Slow. I'm not a big FTR fan. I know they're like, we're the best tag team in the world, and other people are like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. I know I'm missing something. Maybe it's just not my style. I'm just not a big FTR fan. I kind of feel like they're a little overrated. This match was just kind of slow. Nothing really going on. I don't know, Kenny Omega was in there a lot. It started to pick up towards the end. That's why I gave it a 2.75. But your new tag champions are FTR. We'll see what happens with Kenny Omega. We'll see what happens with Hangman Page. That's the most interesting part of this whole match. The Mimosa Mayhem match, Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy was your winner. I was pretty surprised by this. I gave this one a 2.75 as well. It wasn't like that interesting. I'm just surprised by the finish. I wouldn't say it was like the best match of the night. I mean, it was an okay match. So I gave it a 2.75, but Orange Cassidy with the win. I was really surprised by that. So we'll see where this all leads Cassidy and where this all leads Jericho. Finally, Jon Moxley versus MJF. Winner Jon Moxley. Again, I gave this one a 2.75 as well. It was a good match. It wasn't the match of the night, but Jon Moxley is your winner and still champion and will probably face Lance Archer in the next pay-per-view. And that build-up should be interesting. And it will be also interesting to see where we go with MJF's character as well. And Wardlow, because he was saying that Wardlow cost him the match. But overall, it was still a great night of wrestling and a great pay-per-view. And I'm never disappointed with an AEW show or pay-per-view compared to the other brand. But all in all, it was a fun night of wrestling.